Hello, listeners. Today we are going to talk about one of the very famous works of James Joyce, Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. I will be talking about some of the important aspects of this novel. This novel is narrated for the most part in the limited omniscient point of view. At the same time, it progresses from the lyrical, epical modes of expression and moves finally into the dramatic mode of expression. In order to highlight the importance of Stephen's aesthetic experiences, James Joyce borrowed a word from the Catholic faith in order to create a literary term of his own. When Stephen suddenly understands the essential nature of a thing, whether it is the understanding of a person, an idea, a word, or a situation, he has a moment of profound revelation. James Joyce has called these moments epiphanies. Some of Stephen's earliest epiphanies come from his acute sensory awareness and are recorded through Joyce's masterful use of imagery. He also uses dramatic irony to identify Stephen's basic conflicts and emphasize significant events in his life. The most obvious clue that the author's life is related to the novel's thematic development exists in the hero's name, that is, Stephen Dedalus, which combines significant elements of both Greek and Christian myths. Stephen is the name of the first Christian martyr who was persecuted for reasons of faith. Joyce's hero identifies with his patron's martyrdom by recalling an early reprimand against marrying a Protestant, the unjust panding incident, and a variety of instances wherein he was ostracized or made to feel guilty by his peers and older people. It is, however, the author's choice of his character's family name Dedalus which reveals to readers the source of the novel's greatest thematic parallel, and that is the myth of Daedalus and Icarus. The story of the cunning Greek inventor and his ill-fated impetuous son Icarus. It is the framework that is responsible for the major imagery and symbolism which pervade the entire novel. Symbolically, Stephen, like Daedalus, feels compelled to find a means of escape from the labyrinth of Dublin which threatens him with spiritual, cultural, and artistic restraints. Similarly, Stephen can also be compared with Icarus, who flew too close to the sun, melted his fabricated wings, and plunged to his death in the sea. Like Icarus, Stephen ignores the warnings of family and clergy and is symbolically drawn toward a philosophical illumination which ultimately casts him into sin, that is spiritual death, and leads him to renounce his Catholic faith. Like Daedalus, Stephen succeeds in escaping the labyrinth of cultural restraints. At the end of the novel, Stephen is imaginatively sparing the world and soaring in flight away from Ireland towards a future of unfettered artistic freedom. It could be very well said that this novel, Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce, is a masterpiece in every way. Through these standpoints that I had tried discussing through this video, I would like all of you to read and go through the novel and find out that what else could be explained, what else could be there to find out, to be there in this particular novel. The novel is Bildungsroma and Kantelsroma that traces the growth of a child from his childhood to becoming an adult and finally an artist. If there are any questions pertaining to the text, please put up your questions in the comment section below. Thank you.